welcome on into Philadelphia Live. My name is Judea Murray. We have so much to talk to you about on this program, and right now from 7 to 10 p.m. you got me. I'll be bringing you all the live news, breaking news, and we'll break down some things that are happening right here in our area. That's Philadelphia, Delaware, New Jersey. We'll also touch base on national as well as international stories. So you're taking a live look at a couple of different things getting underway and a crazy video that our helicopter was able to get for us. Let's start though with the American State Fair. This is the Great American State Fair, where in about an hour and 30 minutes we're expecting to see President Donald Trump take over the stage. He's expected to speak on the agenda for today's fair. It says he has a 30-minute slot. Again, that is supposed to start at around 8:30. So when he does walk up to that stage, we will be getting out there live. You guys will be able to listen to him right here on Philadelphia Live. We're also taking a live look at Philadelphia Stadium because FIFA World Cup is still well underway here in North America. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's excited. There are so many big games happening tonight. Right now, Morocco and Haiti, they're going against each other at Atlanta Stadium. And I'm also hearing that Scotland and Brazil are going at it in Miami Stadium. So we're going to have a live report from Fox News on how that Scotland-Brazil game is getting on. And then, of course, you're taking a look at some crazy video that we got earlier today from our helicopter. I'm hearing that there was a crazy police chase that ended with an arrest. And that's actually where we'll find Jill, one of our reporters. She got right out to the scene, tried to get as much information as possible. Jill, what were you able to find so far?
Judea, we found a lot, even talked to some residents, and I'll share a soundbite from that with you as well. So Sky Fox had captured a police chase this morning in Philadelphia. It ended right here in the Bridesburg section, and actually that capture happened just feet away from where we are. Police had to go through one of these fences to ultimately capture the 29-year-old man that was wanted by police. That chase began around 11 a.m. and ended with that arrest of the 20-year-old man. Now, Sky Fox, we were able to see a massive police presence and that eventual capture. You had officers swarming a backyard. He was found inside of a car tent, and you could see officers enter from multiple angles, eventually dragging him out of that enclosure. And police vehicles, they were all over the surrounding streets, even though it's quiet now. Police say this man, he was operating a stolen vehicle. That vehicle was first spotted today on the 4100 block of Elbridge Street and refused to pull over during an attempted traffic stop where a taser was also used. Then he even drove the wrong way on I-95 southbound, where police had to take a pause on that chase. And then later, he was found in one of these sheds in the surrounding area. At one point, the officers, just because of their own safety, they had to end that chase when he went on the interstate, like I said, driving the wrong way. But then the officers then found that same vehicle, this time abandoned. It was on the 2700 block of Juniata Street, and the suspect was hiding here on the 2800 block of Headley Street. Now, we talked with one of these residents. Her backyard actually faces where police swarmed the area. She lives on East Bristol Street, that's parallel. So her backyard, like I said, faces it. She was working from home, her and her husband. They heard everything, saw everything. She also took some footage with her own phone. We'll have that tonight as well. She described it as a loose search for the suspect. Police were really just trying to locate where this guy was. That, like I said, that abandoned vehicle was found a few blocks away, so it was a loose search. So then Delph describes the moments leading to the man's capture. I want you to hear the soundbite for yourself.
I saw an officer run down from this way and hop a fence. I'm like, and the other cops on this end were still looking. I said, he's down there, you know, they're down there. And so that's when they all hopped the fence.
She was telling me, which is a pretty powerful visual for those of you that have watched the show Cops. She goes, I felt like I was watching an episode from my own backyard. So just so you can recognize the magnitude of the police presence there. The suspect was apprehended without incident. Charges are pending at this time. And Judea, that's really all we have, but you'll hear more from her tonight. She had some pretty powerful sounds. So we'll share that coming up in just a few hours.
Oh my goodness. I mean, looking at both video that she was able to capture and give to us, the little snippet that we have, and then seeing the video from Chopper, it's just like, I mean, cops was the perfect way to describe it. We see this kind of stuff happen all the time in LA. It's not that often that we're seeing it take place in Philadelphia. I mean, for me, this is my first since getting to work here.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy thing just to wrap your head around. And when you think about them going the wrong way on I-95, we're lucky nobody else got hurt, really, Judea. So could have been even a worse story than it already has been, but glad nobody got hurt.
Just out of curiosity, did the police talk a little more about the tactics they use to try to like immobilize that vehicle? I know sometimes they'll throw down the like spikes, or sometimes they'll, I can't remember what the terminology they use, but it's almost like a T-bone just to get somebody to stop. Did they talk about how they got him to stop and then get out on foot?
No, honestly, everything I told you is really all I know at this time. Of course, if any new developments come in within the next few hours of just police or the police response, you'll be the first to know.
Beautiful. Okay, and then other than that, the next time we'll see you, our audience, if they want to keep up with this, it'll be on the 10 o'clock news or so, right?
Yeah, and that will be airing at 11 because of today's match.
Okay, yeah, that is right. FIFA World Cup has been pushing back our news a couple of different nights. This seems to be one of them. Jill, again, thank you for giving us what you could so far. I'll let you get back to news gathering. An insane situation that she found herself, like that being her story for the day. Glad she was able to get us as many details as she could. Again, there are a lot of things happening all around the country today. That was in our neck of the woods here in Pennsylvania, but I also want to bring you out to DC because, again, a little later on, President Donald Trump is expected to take the mic. And now, as you can see, they've got a glass in front of the speakers. If you have been paying attention to a lot of these different major events where the president ends up being one of the top speakers, they've been, for many of them, covering the stages, or at least right where the podium is, with glass that can't necessarily be shattered. As you remember, there were quite a few attempts on his life, and so while there is a little bit of a glare, when the sun starts to go down, you guys will be able to see the speaker a lot better. Now, it looks like the fair did just get underway. This is their kickoff celebration. There are going to be quite a few different speakers. There are going to be a lot of performers. You see they've got a whole marching band sitting down, performing in the back. So we're excited to see what else they'll be able to bring us. But keep in mind, you guys, and mark your, I was going to say calendar, but just write it down. Take a screenshot if you need to. At around 8:30, that is when President Donald Trump is expected to come on stage and speak. And he, according to the agenda, will speak for about 30 minutes there. And a lot of other things happening around town too. Again, we're going to get into the FIFA World Cup, which is pretty huge for us here in the city of Philadelphia. Thursday is going to be a really big night, especially for Team USA. But here in Philly, even when we don't have our own matches at the stadium, doesn't believe fans are everywhere. I've seen them on the trains. I've seen them at the different bars, the different restaurants. They're just really excited to try out American culture and get to see what a place like Philly is all about. I mean, we are quite literally the beginning of everything here in America. And so I've been hearing a lot about the different places that they're excited to check out, visit. Tonight's going to be an exciting one too. We've got Dining Under the Stars. There are plenty of happy hours that are probably well underway right now, maybe getting closer to their end time. You guys can actually see a little bit there. It's like towards the center of the camera where a lot of people are seated. They are eating, drinking in the middle of the streets. The streets in that particular location, South Street, South Street, right? State Street is one of those S's. State Street has been closed off for this. It happens literally every single Wednesday, and it goes on throughout the evening. We'll have a live report from there as well, just in case you're thinking about getting out there and wondering what the vibe is like. We'll bring you right down on the street level, maybe even get to talk to some of the patrons. It'll be exciting to see people running around. Every now and then you might even see people hitting a little dance. It's just a nice little vibe out there if you're looking for something to do tonight. And, you know, while we're talking about it, let's get a look at our weather forecast. It looks nice and sunny out there. It's a complete 180 from what we saw a couple days ago. This is Atlantic City. You can see the beach is just absolutely beautiful tonight as the sun begins to set. Let's turn things over to Scott Williams from our storm team. Scott, what's going on in the skies today?
Oh, I mean, absolutely nothing is going
Beautiful.
on, and that's good. We got the high pressure in control. We have low humidity, lots of sunshine out there, and of course, those temperatures are certainly really comfortable. It's 83 degrees right now. Numbers made it to 84 degrees this afternoon. That's a couple of degrees below average for this time of year, but really just a Chamber of Commerce day. And as we look at Ultimate Doppler, still lots of sunshine across the Delaware Valley. There will be a nice sunset, whether you're in the city, the shore, north and west suburbs, moving toward the Lehigh Valley, as well as for the Poconos. Very refreshing as well. Now, look at the low temperatures for the suburbs dipping into the upper 50s, low to mid 60s from Wilmington to Philadelphia. Temperatures will bottom out in the city right around 65 degrees. As we look at the forecast for tomorrow, highs getting into the mid to upper 80s. The Philadelphia Stadium kickoff 4 o'clock. Curacao taking on the Ivory Coast. Looking good during the game. We will see a few storms approaching far north and west for tomorrow night. We're talking the Poconos, the Lehigh Valley, 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Moving toward Philadelphia more toward midnight, but most of the energy with this system tomorrow night looks to want to stay far north and west toward the Poconos, the Lehigh Valley, and into North Jersey. So once again, I think they're going to get that game in because it starts at 4 o'clock. Most of the storms don't really move into the Poconos, Lehigh Valley until late tomorrow night into early on Friday. But that system will set the stage for unsettled weather conditions. So as we take a look at that forecast, 40% chance for some pop-up showers and storms tomorrow night, mainly far north and west. For Friday, it's a 60% chance. And as we move toward the weekend, it's kind of a split decision. We do have the game taking place in South Philadelphia. I think on Saturday it begins, the match rather, at 5 p.m. There could be some rainfall around. We're not looking at really thunderstorms with this system for Saturday, more of what we got the other day before we saw things clearing out. So as we kind of go hour by hour, you can see maybe a pop-up shower or storm on Friday, but Saturday looks kind of damp and dreary. We're looking at clouds, some cooler temperatures, likely in the mid to upper 70s on Saturday, and still a threat for a shower or two lingering by the match kickoff time on Saturday. So that's certainly something we'll be watching. But temperatures for Thursday and Friday moving back into the upper 80s. More humidity starts to creep back into the forecast for Thursday, for Friday as well. And then for your weekend, you can see temperatures moving back into the upper 70s with showers around on Saturday. Then as we get toward next week, we're ending the month of June as we get toward next Tuesday, and then we're going to be moving into July, and our 10-day temperature trend, that's going to take us to the 250th, and it looks like July's coming in hot as a firecracker. And I mean, we're looking at probably our fourth heat wave of the season brewing by the end of June into early July. In fact, as we take a look at that 10-day temperature trend, we've got to brace ourselves because here we go again. Yes, we've already had 3 heat waves, but that was in meteorological spring. The summer solstice was this past Sunday, so now it's officially summer based on the tilt of the Earth, and it looks like we're looking at our 4th heat wave. So by next Tuesday, 92 degrees. Look at that. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, early July, mid-90s, and feels like temperatures will probably be getting into the triple digits. So the hazy, the hot, the humid. And then for the 4th of July, it's already in view. I don't know how this is happening already. We're talking about the 4th of July. It looks like temperatures will be in the 90s. So yes, hot as a firecracker. And there could be some pop-up showers and thunderstorms during that time frame as well. So enjoy the low humidity, comfortable conditions right now because you see what's coming as we get into July. Judea, it's gonna be a brutal summer, I think.
Yeah, I feel like that is an understatement.
Right?
I really like that measurement that you gave us, hot as a firecracker. That lets me know exactly what I'm getting myself into.
But we've kind of been prepared. We've already had 3 heat waves. And, you know,
That did not prepare me.
This one's going to be the 4th, it looks like, in just a matter of days here. It's already in view in that 10-day temperature trend. But I think what's more shocking is that It's already the 4th of July.
Yeah, we were talking about how like slowly this week has been going, but then if you look at the month and really the year, how quickly everything has just sped past us. And it's just like an odd feeling of being so in the moment with this
What are we
week.
going to do when FIFA's over, when All-Star Game's over, Home Run Derby's over? We're not going to know what to
cry. That is what we are going to do, Scott. We're going to cry. We're going to weep. Thank you so much for giving us a look at our forecast. You guys, if you missed any part of that, we'll be checking in with Scott again at around 9:20. Hot as a firecracker. I feel like that is exactly right. Those like straight 95 days. We're gonna need a lot of water, a lot of sunscreen, although you shouldn't be using that every single day. We all need our SPF, especially if you want to look young forever. Keep that in mind. Again, a lot of big things happening all across the nation, especially in our area. I'm here, Judea Murray, to bring you the latest. We're going to do breaking news, live news, all of it, covering. If it's going on, we go there. We'll be right back. More coming up after this break. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live. You're taking a live look at some of our hottest stadiums across the U.S. And of course, we had to throw Philadelphia Stadium in there too. That's where it's been going down for us here in the city of brotherly love. So many people have been coming out to our matches. FIFA Fan Fest has been packed most days. I think on one of those days, we actually had the most fan base, like biggest audience of all the FIFA stadiums. So keep that in mind. Like, we're doing some pretty good big things here. But you're also taking a look at the very top left, Vancouver Stadium. Earlier today, Switzerland took on Canada. That was at around 3 p.m. It was a really big match. As you can see, it's a little cleared out now, but such a pretty stadium, how they designed everything there. I don't know why we didn't think to put the soccer ball somewhere for us, but you know, I guess great minds, we don't think alike necessarily, actually. Below that, you're taking a look at LA Stadium. That is where Team USA is expected to take Turkey on tomorrow. It's going to be a late night game, so keep in mind the stadium lights will be on. A lot of people will be packed out there. That is 10 p.m. tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. That's our time. And then to the right of that, you're taking a look at Atlanta Stadium, where right now, as we speak, Morocco is going against Haiti. Again, that is happening right now. Let me take a quick look at their score for you. It looks like they are both tied. So they just got out of their halftime Both teams went back. They took a little breather, heard from their coach of what they need to do, get back out there and play even harder. Not exactly sure who's going to come out on top in this, actually. Maybe I'll have to touch base with our sports team just to see who might be favored. But that looks like that's the situation that is underway right now for that Morocco-Haiti matchup. Now, we'll later on get to talk to a Fox News reporter about what's going on in Miami, because I hear that is where Scotland is taking on Brazil. And you guys, both teams have a crazy fan base, like insane fan base. We were talking to you so much about the Scots, how they were taking over, like Boston specifically. We had heard that they drank Boston out of a house and a home. Like all of their beer, at some point in time, they actually needed an emergency delivery in order to get more in. But while we were talking about how much they are partying, I also hear that they're doing a lot in terms of cleaning up. There was one match in particular where I heard there were so many people out there. It's like they were so excited that they won. It's like all the drinks and whatnot in the streets, and it was a mess. But I also hear from a volunteer that was a group of Scottish fans that came together early in the morning just to clean up after themselves. So they play hard, but apparently they also clean up after themselves too. And so just, round of applause to our visitors coming in and, treating our home like it's theirs. And then also Brazil has a crazy fan base as well. Even when we had some Brazilian fans here in the city of brotherly love, like they took over the Rocky Steps. We thought Ecuador was crazy, but Brazil fans showed us that it is a whole nother level to this stuff when it comes to football or soccer. So again, we've gotten to see how both teams, do when they're facing other people in different cities, and now they are together. So I can only imagine what's going on underneath that stadium. We'll be talking to, again, one of our Fox News reporters about it in a second. But let's turn our attention back to what's happening here in Philadelphia. There's a big match coming up. Curacao is going to be taking on Ivory Coast, but I hear they're already in our area, both fan bases, having the time of their lives. Let's get out to Shawnette Wilson, who went on to check out what's going on at FIFA Fan Fest. Shawnette, what's it like out there?
Hi, Judea. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so yes, we are live at FIFA Fan Fest on what is a beautiful day after 2 very rough days that we had here. We know that Monday it was canceled because of the weather, and then people came back out yesterday, but I'm sure the fields were still kind of not in great condition. But today, here we are having a beautiful day, and you can see this place is filling up. Constant flow of people going through all day long. We actually popped out here today ahead of the match tomorrow with Curacao and Ivory Coast. Today, Curacao showed up in large numbers here and actually had a pretty good kickoff ahead of this match tomorrow. We do have some video that we're showing you. One of their biggest artists, Ray is his name, performed here on the stage at FanFest around 5 o'clock this afternoon, did about a half-hour set with a live band, all local players, and shut FanFest down. They all went crazy just watching him perform and just saying how much energy it brought for them ahead again of this match tomorrow. Curacao looking for a win, of course, tomorrow. But even still, they are making history. Being the smallest nation to qualify for the World Cup. And we know that the Ivory Coast seems to have their path carved out as of right now to head to the round of 32, the knockout round. So that is what we are doing here at FanFest today. And just a lot of families, talking to people out here, the biggest thing that they're saying is just being able to interact with so many different cultures, enjoying each other. And even though, this is the World Cup, they are leaving with so much more. It's learning about other cultures, it's sharing music, it's sharing history, and it's sharing, football, which is what they love. So that's what we're doing here tonight. And yeah, Judea, you can see they're taking in a match right now and getting pretty fired up. So it's a good time. I feel like FanFest has not disappointed yet, Judea.
Absolutely not. I don't know if I got to tell you, I've been telling everybody, but I finally got out to one of those matches myself, well, 2 of them. And yeah, it was packed out.
I'm doing my job on TV right now.
Oh, Lord. Wait, no, that is a perfect example of how no matter when you go, no matter who you're watching, if you go out to any of these FIFA events, like, people are so friendly. They want to talk, they want to get to know more about you, and it's not even on like a creepy, crazy tip. It's just like a lot of these visitors coming from other different places, they just want to embrace American culture. And so even Shawnette is out reporting live for us, and someone's wanting to talk to her, hoping that they just found a friend. It's funny, but it's also kind of heartwarming just to know how people really came here for the most part with really good intentions. So I hope that if you haven't gotten out to any of these matches just yet, that changes, especially as the matches start getting a little more heated. I hear that for most teams, they're starting to enter their knockout, their knockout stage. So we're gonna let Shawnette get back to the party again. It looks like a lot of people are out there having a good time, expressing their love for whatever country. Even for me, not the biggest soccer fan ever, I still came out, had a good time, met new people. Met a girl who was rooting for Ivory Coast, which, by the way, that is going to be the game that happens tomorrow. So Curacao, as you got to see, their fan base is out in full effect. They brought out one of their hottest performers, and they are ready to take on the Ivory Coast. And don't get it twisted, Ivory Coast is ready too. So we'll see how things shake up tomorrow night at Philadelphia Stadium. It's going to be a big one, you guys. In addition to that, we're also keeping our eyes on what's happening in Miami, because I hear that they've also got a match, Scotland versus Brazil. Remember I told you it was those huge fan bases. I'm getting the vibe that we don't have Amy just yet. Is that right? Or we do, you guys? Okay, I don't think she can hear me. I'm hearing that she should hear me. Let's just check with her. Amy, if you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up? Beautiful. All right, so yeah, let's get into it. Amy, you got to check out what I'm thinking by the cheers has either just ended or maybe they're still in it. What's going on with this matchup?
Yeah, it looks like they just got it to 3-0 in favor of Brazil. So Scotland losing by 0, but that is not stopping the Scottish crowd from, waving their flags, playing their bagpipes, really cheering their team on both sides. This is such a fun game because these fan bases are so passionate and so rich in culture.
Miami is just full of different cultures, but one of the key cultures is here. It's Havana, little Havana, right? It's amazing. Look at it. And look how many Scots are here. There's more Scottish here than there are Cubans.
Playing dominoes, dancing salsa, and drinking mojitos.
Oh, mojitos are amazing. Niet iron brood, but it's decent.
Scots are embracing the local vibe and also leaving their own mark here in South Florida.
And once the people of Havana hear the bagpipes, there will be no coming back.
The Tartan Army made its way down south ahead of tonight's World Cup match against Brazil. The game promises lots of excitement as Scotland is fighting to advance from the group stage for the first time in history.
Brazil are doomed. We're going to win. 3-0 Scotland.
Meanwhile, five-time champion Brazil also looking to secure their top spot.
I think we have really good chances because of, our history.
Tonight's game is the final Group C match for both teams. If Brazil wins, they will walk away the #1 team in this group. As for Scotland, they could make history even with a tie as they look to advance for the first time in history. Back to you.
Amy, it is going absolutely bananas over there. We do also have the score up. So just as you said, yes, Brazil was up 3. Scotland hasn't put one on the board just yet. But looking at it is 63 minutes into everything. They've got less than 30 minutes left. I mean, it's going to be a crazy matchup. I don't know what else to say about this, but just hearing everybody so excited, I'm excited too.
I know, I'm so pumped, and like I knew the score because I've been keeping an eye on it. If I wasn't here reporting on this game, I'd definitely be sitting at home watching it. This is a fun one because Brazil, I mean, it's always so amazing to watch that team. Some of the most talented players, and they've won this 5 times. They know what they're doing, but Scotland, man, that fan base makes you just root for them, doesn't it?
Absolutely, they've got heart. I was telling people that even though, you've probably seen the headlines too about some of the Scottish fans, how in a lot of different cities they were running out of liquor to keep up with them. But then also there was a headline that came out that after there was like this big match and things looked trash, they came back out early in the morning and cleaned up. So yeah, they won it, they're excited, they're just happy to be here, clearly.
They're very friendly people, and I'll say that about the Brazilians too, as well as the people I met earlier in the week for the Cape Verde and Uruguay match. These are all such friendly people, so excited to just be here, experiencing the World Cup for what many call a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And the fact that it's here in Miami, I mean, couldn't be a better place. It's already so vibrant and such a big sense of community here, so they've been welcomed right in.
Amy, one question for you. I'm trying to make sure that I read this correctly. Earlier on, was there an issue with weather or something of the sort there?
Yeah, we've all day kind of just been on edge. I've been waiting to see if it was going to start raining really hard. There's been lightning in the distance. When I was first getting here, setting up around 2 o'clock, a lot of fans were also arriving around then. That's when we had that lightning storm roll through. So right now, things have been pretty nice to us, and it's been kept at bay. And we do know lightning is always a concern with sports. So hoping that that doesn't put any delays in place for tonight's match.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for chatting with us, getting us ready for what's going on there. We'll keep an eye on the score ourselves. But Amy, I'll let you get back into the fun, the craziness out there. And I'm taking a look at the time now, 7:31. That is where we are in the northeast area of the country, just in case you guys are joining us from anywhere else. I know when we start talking about FIFA, there are fans and audience members on our social media channels from literally every country. So just welcome on in. This is Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. We talk about things that are happening in the Philly area, South Jersey, Delaware, but we also touch base on national news, international news, and from time to time, we'll also, break news right here on this platform. But it's not your typical news program in the sense that we take a little longer with stories. We're able to massage them out, learn as many details as we can in real time with one another. Also, this is interactive. So if you guys have a question for me, a comment, you want me to touch base on a story that maybe I just haven't brought up just yet, let me know in the comment section. I'm able to literally read them in real time, give out shout outs. Speaking of which, Eric Ernest says hello, welcome on in. Ari Cantor dropped the dancing emojis. So dance away. Welcome on into you too, and then to everybody else who's joining us on TikTok. A lot more people coming on in. I'm trying to read and keep up with you guys. There are just so many comments coming in at the same time. I'll get back with you in a second. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then I'm going to bring you back out to the Great American State Fair, where soon President Donald Trump is expected to take the stage. We'll be right back. All right, welcome on back into Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. I want to bring you out to Washington, D.C., where the Great American State Fair is well underway. This is their kickoff ceremony that started at 7. There are going to be performances, lots of talks. We'll even see flyovers. I'm going to let you guys listen in to where they are in the program right now.
This is going to be the greatest celebration in 250 years of liberty and freedom. In the book of Leviticus, chapter 25 and verse 10, the Bible says, "Proclaim liberty throughout all the land, and to the inhabitants thereof." God let us know in that scripture that liberty and freedom are His gift to us that are live and get to come and become citizens of the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. And I'm going to ask you to do what our forefathers did, like George Washington when he kneeled in the snow and prayed with the troops, like the Pilgrims at Plymouth Rock when they bowed down and prayed at the very beginning days of the birth of this nation. God breathed life into this nation, and He's not done yet. And we're here to acknowledge again that God is still real. He loves this nation, and He hears and answers prayer. Would you pray with me for America? Lord, we come again on this 250th birthday, and we thank You for this nation. We thank You, oh God, for Your faithfulness throughout all the generations. And we thank You because You have brought us to this moment for such a time as this. Please breathe on America again. Lord, let Your grace begin to cover this nation like never before. We thank You, oh God, for freedom of religion. We thank You that all religions have a right to worship as they desire. But we also thank You for our Christian roots, oh God, in this nation. And we thank You for the cross. And we thank You for the Word of God. And we thank You for freedom. So bless this nation. And let Your grace flow from sea to shining sea. Oh God, we thank You that Your grace is sufficient for every challenge. Touch our president, touch his cabinet, bless our Supreme Court, bless our Congress, and bless our Senate. And Lord, I pray Thy kingdom come and Thy will be done. Bless our young people, bless our children and our children's children. And lastly, oh God, we ask You to send revival to the churches across America until there is a proclamation. Let freedom ring from addiction, from fear, from anxiety, and from shame and guilt because of what You have provided through grace and through Your salvation. In Your mighty name we pray. Amen.
All right, you guys, so they just wrapped up that prayer at the Great American State Fair kickoff ceremony. Again, if you are waiting for President Donald Trump, he's expected to grace the stage at around 8:30. When that happens, we'll bring you right back out there live, and you'll be able to hear his full remarks. According to the agenda, he's supposed to take about 30 minutes. So we'll see if he holds true to that or what's going to happen. But no matter what it is, you will be able to watch it live right here on Philadelphia Live. Now, it's a huge day for sports. It's actually been a huge week for sports. Like, I feel like everything has been happening, including the NBA draft. I want to turn things over to Breland Moore from our sports team. Breland, I mean, with World Cup, cool, but let's get into the NBA draft. Last night, the Sixers made their pick. Who'd we go with?
Yeah, so they only had one pick this draft as of now, unless something really drastic occurs in the next 20 minutes here or so. The Sixers are pretty much done for this one. They don't have a second round selection, so they would have to trade or do something pretty drastic to be involved this evening. But as of last night, they did indeed take a point guard. His name is there, right there, LeBaron Philon Jr. He's out of Alabama, 20 years old, was an All-American third-team selection during his sophomore season, which was last year. He also was a first-team All-SEC selection after winning or being part of the All-SEC freshman team the year before. So really interesting pick here, but I think he's very excited to be here, especially to work with VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, etc. He also gave a little shout out to Joel Embiid during his press conference. But Mike Gansey, who is the brand new president of basketball operations that took over for Daryl Morey, he also said it's not just his play on the court that really stood out. It was also the character aspect, the behind the scenes, who he is as a person. Born and raised Alabama kid, decided to not extend the recruiting pool very far and decided to play at Alabama, stay in his hometown, and that was very deliberate. And so they liked I guess you want to call it the loyalty aspect. It showed a lot about his character and who he is as a person, and they were really, really impressed with that as well. So obviously, we will see how things go at 22. Typically, it's more of a project pick, let's put it that way. So he's going to have to be developed. It's not like he's a top 5 selection and NBA ready right now. But I think hopefully this will bode very well for the Sixers and this new brass that has taken over the reins here of the organization.
I'm looking forward to seeing how he does as well. And you mentioned the press conference. We have like a small snippet I just want to let you guys listen into. Both he says he's ready and Nick Nurse says he feels pretty good about it too. Let's listen.
Learning from VJ, just the transition into the NBA, and then Maxey really just like the work ethic and the way he goes about things, the way he prepares for games, the way he get ready for practices, and stuff like that. And just like it's a learning point for me.
He's similar to those guys athletically. He's similar, I think, to Tyrese in his ability to get perimeter shots up, and he can get to the rim and finish a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so you heard it there. One thing that I find interesting too, you mentioned he's from Alabama, how he's going to become acclimated with being up north. Because, I mean, not just the weather, but also the way of life. It's very different.
I think he'll be just fine if Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and quite literally almost half the football team that we have here in town played at Georgia, Alabama, etc. in SEC schools. I think he can manage it. If he can't, he shouldn't be in the pros, to be respectfully honest.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing on social media how he handles everything. For some people, it is like, just a little. It takes a minute for some people, but we'll see how it is for him. Let's get into some of the other big sports news that's happening. Of course, the Phillies are playing, and yesterday, it was like for so long, I was sitting there like sitting on my hands, felt like I was walking on needles, not quite sure how the game was going to come out, and then all of a sudden it was like 14-8, and I don't know how it ended, but how are we doing today against the Washington Nationals? Yeah,
that was insane. To score 8 runs in the 9th inning was unbelievable, and then come back and win that game is just, I don't really have words for it. Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott really did the thing, is all I'm going to say about that. As for today, 6:45 was your start time. Aaron Nola is on the mound here, and I've been out here for a hot minute, so I haven't really gotten a chance to see. But okay, that's what I expected it to be. Wanted to make sure it was the same. 2-0 is your score so far in the top 4th now. So we'll see how this goes. But yesterday got a little bonkers for sure. So who knows? Obviously, if you learned anything about yesterday, it's the game's not over till it's over. So no need to panic right now. Just down 2-0.
Yeah, and honestly, that's actually something you tell us a lot here on Philadelphia Live. Like, there's still a lot more game left. It's still early. You're always like really careful about how we talk about the players and how the game is going. And this was a perfect example of why you should be a little more conservative, cautious about how you talk about it, because you should never count them out. Phillies clearly gonna finish.
I've seen a lot of things in my career, so I never. we'll talk about it when it's over, and we'll analyze it when it's over. But yeah, definitely, we're not even halfway through the game right now. So
yeah. I respect it. I respect it. Okay, real quick, let's get into the World Cup. I know talking to you, you always let me know, hey, we are taking it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, though, Team USA is playing tomorrow. Any idea how they're getting along with just practice?
Well, I mean, the good news is that Christian Pulisic has been in team practices all week, it appears, which is excellent. We heard from him for the first time today. I would be shocked if he starts this game. He might get a little cameo in there, simply because he has not played for 3 halves of football. So, you know, to get him a little bit back into the conditioning thing. The Eagles are always different football, obviously, but the Eagles always say there's a difference between being in shape, being football ready, and being game ready, right? And so there's that difference of what you've got going on here. He has not seen game action since that first game against Paraguay, so it's been a little bit, maybe they might throw him in there, but I don't expect him to start, and I do expect the United States to rest their most of their starters. Certainly not Matt Freese, the goalkeeper, or anybody of that nature that needs a little bit more World Cup experience. But I'm talking about especially those. There are 4 players right now from Team USA that have a yellow card. If they get another yellow, that eliminates them from playing in that round of 32 game. You want your stars there for the knockout round. You certainly don't want to waste them or have them get into any kind of trouble on a meaningless game that does absolutely nothing for you. So I would expect to see some of the depth guys in there. And it's also good, at some point, those depth guys are going to have to play. So you might as well give them a little World Cup action, get the jitters out of their system, and give them some time to get acclimated here to this action on the world stage while you can, and while it's kind of a meaningless game for you. Why not?
Fair, fair. Thank you so much. Before I let you go, we got like literally a minute left. I saw earlier Jason Kelsey was holding one of his events. I was hoping you could talk to us a little bit more about what we're seeing here. I think Chris O'Connell went out and Jason actually was pouring drinks. Like, what's this about?
Yeah, so I haven't been to this event in probably a good 5 years or so, but it, for the best of my knowledge, it benefits the Eagles Autism Foundation. Surely did when I first covered it. But yeah, Jason Kelsey and the Kelsey team, I believe Kylie Kelsey is there, Cooper DeJean, I believe, is there, just raising money for the Eagles Autism Foundation. It's one of their biggest events of the year, along with that bike ride that they typically do. So yeah, all for a good cause, but I'm sure Chris is having himself a time.
Oh, I know he is. We were watching his live coverage earlier, and it's like everything that could happen was happening.
Right.
Reelan, again, thank you so much for breaking down everything that's happening in the sports world for us. It's very helpful to me. I know our audience loves it too. So we'll check back in with you a little later on. But you guys, still ahead, a lot more news to get you out to. We're also talking about fun things to do. If you're looking for a good laugh, I'm hearing tomorrow night there's going to be a comedian normally in the LA area, but gracing us here in Philadelphia. We'll be talking to Jasmine W. when we come back. Hey guys, welcome back into Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray, but this next guest I'm about to bring you is something special. Jasmine W. does it all. She's a stand-up comedian, an influencer, a host. Like literally, if you need it done, she gets it done. And she's bringing us a taste of all of her talents right here in Philadelphia tomorrow. Welcome her on in to our live stream. Jasmine, thank you for making some time for us.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. I actually went to school for broadcast communications, so I feel a connection.
Okay. Okay. Funny enough, that's actually how I met you. This is our first time like actually meeting you guys, but it was like years ago during the pandemic. Amanda Seals was holding an event, and I remember you and Lene were the co-hosts for the event. And from there, I thought you were hilarious, so I followed you on social media. Now here we are.
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here in Philly too. It's my second time doing comedy here. And I just feel it's just one of those cities where I just feel like I'm at home. I don't know why. And people say, you give us Philly girl energy. And I'm like, that is a compliment. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, because the Philly girls don't play. You absolutely don't either. Let's actually get into a little bit of who you are before we talk about the comedy show. Were you born and raised in LA, or are you just out there now?
No, I'm from Dallas, Texas. I'm from Dallas. I went to college at UT Arlington. And I moved to San Francisco first, and then I lived there for about 5 years, worked in tech, and I started doing comedy in San Francisco. So a part of moving to LA was to try to figure out if I'm really funny enough to be a full-time comedian. So I moved to LA to pursue comedy full-time.
And I mean, being a stand-up comedian, I hear you have to have some really thick skin. So on the day-to-day, how do you get yourself through and get back home, figure out your jokes, and then come back, and whether it lands or not, still wake up and do the same thing the next day?
Yeah, I mean, you do have to have thick skin. And I attribute it to, I come from a family that laughs at things we're not even supposed to laugh at. So I come from a very funny family who made fun of each other all the time, and we really laughed through things that, the good and the bad. So it really created some thick skin for me. And, when people don't think you're funny, I'll never forget some of the best advice I got was, if I'm doing shows, if I'm doing stand-up out in LA specifically, and people don't laugh or don't think you're funny, then those just aren't your people. But one day you will perform in front of people, right? And so tomorrow night I'll be performing in front of my people, and we're just there to have a good time. I know that they're going to walk away being like, oh, it was such a great show. But sometimes people just don't get it, and that's okay.
No, but I've seen the videos. People do get it. They do think you're funny. So tomorrow you're going to be at City Winery. Talk to me a little bit more about this show.
Yes, so I have one of my really good friends, Shay Bell, opening for me. She's actually one of the first friends I made in San Francisco doing comedy, and she lives in New York now, so she came over. So she's going to open for me. And then tomorrow the show is really just about, where I am right now in my life, right? I talk about dating after my divorce. I talk about my divorce. I haven't been to Philly since my divorce has been final. So they're going to get, all of the details about, where I am right now and dating and being a mom. I have a 4-year-old. So I'm really just excited to kind of catch everybody in Philly up on where I am in life, and, just really just get together and kiki like girlfriends and squirrel friends, together. So that's what the show is about.
Okay, now I don't mean to get in your business, but let me get in your business. You are out here in Philly. You did just mention that you went through the divorce, dating. Have you tried the dating scene out here? And if so, how is it?
Well, you know what? I will tell you that I've never been on a date in Philly, but that might change tomorrow night after the show.
Okay.
Because whenever I go to a city, I'm not going to lie, I meet somebody every time I go to the city. So I met somebody at the airport, and he's like, oh, you're coming to Philly? I have to come to your show. I was like, oh, if you want to hang out afterwards? He's like, let's hang out afterwards. I'll show you around the city tomorrow night after the show. And I'm like, yes.
We love to see it. They come with the energy out here. I'm not trying it. I refuse to try it out here, but I hear they come with the energy. Okay, so you mentioned that he could come to the show. Are tickets still available, and how do we get them?
Yes, you can go to City Winery. You can just Google City Winery Philly Jasmine, and they will come up. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JAZMYNJW, and then you can click the link in my bio for tickets. But yeah, the show starts tomorrow at 7. We do start on time for all the people who, thinking about coming late or showing up late. You got about 15 minutes after the show starts before I get on stage. Okay. So come on time. And I do 1 hour of comedy. I do 1 hour of stand up at least.
Okay. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't been to a city winery before, they've got them in a lot of different cities, but you've got food, drinks, and then of course the entertainment. So it's a good time. It's a vibe.
It is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say city wineries are really nice too. They're always a really nice aesthetic. So you feel like you're getting out for the week or getting your weekend started.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, while we're talking about dates, it's a great date night. So that's also an option too. Bring somebody. Have a good time. One of my last questions for you. I saw on social media you were asking people of things to do at weeknights in Philadelphia, and I saw some people respond, but did you get to try any of those ideas? And if so, which ones?
Yes, I went to happy hour today so tonight on Wednesday night is the Sips happy hour. And this is thanks to the Philly people who told me this. It was so busy tonight. I was like, this is like a Friday or a Saturday night in any other city, but I guess multiple restaurants in the downtown area participate in a happy hour from at sometimes 4 to 7. I asked a couple people, 4 to 7 or 5 to 7, and they have a special menu. I had already had some good oysters, some good shrimp on a bun. I never had that before. I had some mussels already. Girl, I've already started happy hour, so I can't wait to get back out tonight and just see what else Philly has to offer.
Hey, Philly, shout out to you guys for showing her the right place to go. Yeah, if you hadn't already been to Sips, even though like the shows, we're getting into the 8 o'clock hour, I was going to tell you, some people do keep their happy hour going, so I was going to encourage you to get back out there, but you already went, so...
As soon as I get off of here, I'm headed back outside to just hang out. The weather's perfect today.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You picked the perfect time because a couple of days ago, we couldn't say the same thing. It was like a monsoon outside. So yeah, you picked the right time. Jasmine, you are so much fun. Thank you for making some time for us here on Philadelphia Live. I laughed. If you guys want to laugh again tomorrow, tell them one more time where they can see you, what time.
Tomorrow at City Winery in Philly, 7 p.m. You can go to my website, comedianjasminew.com for tickets, or you can follow me on Instagram at JAZMYNJW, and the ticket link is in my bio. I'll also be in Boston this weekend and New York, so I have a busy weekend, but we're kicking it off right in Philly.
All right, welcome to the East Coast. Thank you so much for your time. You guys, we got a lot more news to get out to you guys. Keep in mind, coming up, a couple of big different events. We'll also be going over some of our trending topics with Jake Leonard, bring you some more ideas of things that you might be interested in doing here in the city of Philadelphia. And also, in addition to Sips, there's Dining Under the Stars. So we've got that live report coming up from Dawn when we come back. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live every Wednesday night. The restaurants out there on State Street give you a great opportunity to get out. They close down the streets. It's called Dining Under the Stars, and that's actually where we're meeting Dawn Timoney, one of our reporters. Dawn, you got out there. People are still getting their drinks, their food. It's like a great option after sips. Walk us through what's going on out there.
Well, Judea, it is always a fun night, Dining Under the Stars here in Media. They do it every Wednesday night, dining al fresco, streets closed off, no traffic, through the end of September. But tonight they kicked it up a notch. Take a look. They decided to have a big watch party as Scotland and Brazil took on each other. Fans from Brazil, from Scotland coming out, bringing their lawn chairs, quite the setup. So this is kind of a different take on a watch party, a little bit of a different take on Dining Under the Stars. The game just ending right now, 3-0. But you can see, like, look, we even have like little soccer stars and fans. Can you say hi? Can you say hi? What'd you think of this setup?
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very good, and we have a very good time here. Yeah, we do enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like watching soccer on a 13 by 23 foot screen, right?
That's right. Very cool. Even we cannot find any place we can see that. That's very awesome. Yeah, thank you.
All right, well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Let's walk over here, Aaron. These people you guys have quite the setup here. Can we talk to you? We're on Fox 29. We're streaming. You don't want to talk to us? Look at the setup. Come on. What do you think of watching the game Under the Stars?
It was so fun.
Who are you rooting for?
Brazil.
Brazil, and you got the outcome you wanted?
Yeah.
How about you? I mean, have you ever watched a FIFA soccer World Cup match like in the middle of a street?
I definitely have not. It's a first.
You do have, these ladies don't want to talk, but look at their setup. They even have the picnic table here. I love it. And that's kind of what it's all about. If you want to walk with me here, you can see a lot of the people heading out after just a really, really fun night. Where's your little Brazilian? Oh, the little one? Look at Judea. You got to see everybody in their yellow and green rooting for Brazil. Oh yeah, did your team win? What's your name? What's her name?
Eloisa.
Eloisa, yay! Go Brazil, right? There were also lots of fans rooting for Scotland out here, but let me just take you down the street because today this is what you usually think of when you think of Dining Under the Stars. Everybody out on an absolutely beautiful night, dining al fresco. You guys are waiting for your food. I was going to ask you how it's been, but
it's been wonderful.
Yeah?
It's been wonderful.
Did you order?
Yeah, not yet. We're going to have some pizza, some pasta, and watch some of the games.
Yeah, all right. Enjoy. But my photographer, Aaron Sachs, and I were saying how we've covered this event in the past, and every time we come, we're like, geez, we wish we weren't working because it's just so much fun, and the watch party tonight adding to it. But I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people out here on State Street, no traffic, people just enjoying what really is an absolutely beautiful night. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What'd you eat? Salad and pasta?
Yeah, and octopus.
Was it good?
It was fantastic. Yeah. And Brazil winning is even better.
All right. Well, enjoy your evening. I think we've kind of given you a taste today about what this is about, so we definitely have to get you out some Wednesday night on State Street for Dining Under the Stars.
Yeah, I need to figure out my schedule because how do I do this? I hear that they go until, 10:30 at night?
I think they go until 10 tonight.
10. Okay.
Yeah, I think they go until about 10 tonight. And like I said, it's every Wednesday night, weather permitting, until the end of September. So you have plenty of chances, but you know, everybody is in just such a good mood. It's such a good time. There's so many great restaurants. As we were walking down the street, I was trying to scout out some in case I ever get a Wednesday night off, because it's just such a fun atmosphere.
Yeah, no sips, no dining under the stars for us. But Dawn, thank you so much for giving us this live look out there. The young fans are absolutely the cutest, especially that little girl.
I know.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, while that's happening here in the city of Philadelphia, it's so crazy because, like, you would have never known that right around the corner it was like a completely different scene. That large screen out there, all those people sitting down in their like camping chairs, and that family that brought out a whole table. Like, what in the world? You would have never known based on this particular live image that we've got for you that was, like I said, right around the corner. But it's always something special here in Philly. So if you're always looking for something to do, Fox 29 Philadelphia, we try to bring you guys the latest, the live, everything that's going on. Meanwhile, out in DC, the Great American State Fair is underway. Oh, it looks like Secretary Sean Duffy has graced the stage. Let's listen in for a second.
Greatest president that's ever existed in this country since George Washington. It's going to be great. We're going to have Ferris wheel, rodeo. We're going to have Maha Mondays. It's going to be awesome. By the way, I should probably introduce my family. I'm here with my wife, Rachel Campos Duffy, and 5 of my kids, my son-in-law, and my brand new baby granddaughter, who's not even a month old. So welcome, everybody. But I want you guys to just put on your calendar, it doesn't stop on the 4th of July, okay? August 23rd, right here at the Capitol, Grand Prix race. 190 miles an hour around the mall, Indy cars. The last time we did this was 1801, and we raced horses. So we're IndyCar, and August 23rd, it's going to be free. So mark your calendars. I don't know, have you guys noticed that the FIFA World Cup is going on right now? America's doing pretty well. What I find fascinating is that all of these tourists from around the world have come to America, and they've fallen in love. They love our food, our culture. They love our parks, the beauty of America. They love the people of America. They love that they get free refills on soda when they go out to eat. They love Costco. They love Bass Pro. And what's shocking is that they were shocked to love America, because they've been lied to in their home countries by the liberal media. They've been told that America is a dark and dirty, violent place. Well, now they've discovered that that couldn't be further from the truth. So as these tourists have come and discovered America, I think on our 250th birthday, it would only be appropriate for us to rediscover America. And I would suggest the way you do that is to gas up your car, to pack up your kids, to load up a cooler, and do a great American road trip. Hit the open road. Grand Canyon, Yellowstone, maybe the Smoky Mountains, or just a park that's a couple hours away from your home. But when you do this, have your kids put their phones away and reconnect with your family. So important. You know, speaking of families, modern culture has told our young people that they shouldn't look for love. They shouldn't have a family. They shouldn't have kids. Instead, focus on their education, focus on their careers, focus on their bank accounts. Have a free Saturday morning and go get a venti latte with your friends at Starbucks. That will give them joy, is what culture has told them. This is the dumbest advice that they could ever get. What fills the human heart? What gives us purpose? We should look for love, get married, and have lots of kids. right? It's a lot of fun, right? Best decision I made, I met Rachel on a reality TV show like 29 years ago. We've been married for 27 years. We're good Catholics. We're open to life. We have 9 kids. Couldn't have made a better decision in my life. Well, actually, she said yes to me, so she made a great decision for me in our life, which I'm very grateful for. But the strength of our country is rooted in the strength of our families. And so to celebrate America 250, we should celebrate our American family. And so just as important as our families, it's important to look at our faith. Our country was founded by men of faith. Men who understood there was one true God, and it wasn't them. They knew there was right and wrong, there was good, there was evil. They understood that our rights, like life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, that didn't come from Congress, from government. It didn't come from a king. It came from God. God gave us those rights, and no government can take those rights away from us. And as we celebrate this 250th birthday, what's remarkable is there is a revival in America. Our young people have been lied to. They've been told that they would be fulfilled with hookup culture or some get-rich-quick scheme, or they could find fame in social media and that would fulfill them. But I'll tell you, they found that that's a false promise. That's a lie. And they've sought truth. And in seeking truth, they have gone to church. They've found the Holy Gospel. They've prayed, and they have found God in historic numbers. Maybe it's the Holy Spirit at work. I don't know, probably, but it's great. And what's fascinating now is that there was a recent poll. Young men, 42% of them say that religion is incredibly important to them in their lives. That's over 20% increase in just over a year. The Wall Street Journal had a recent headline that said young New Yorkers have a new hotspot, Sunday Mass. They're finding love at Mass, which is great. So if these two values of faith and family, that defines American greatness. And so as we celebrate today and we look at what makes us great, but we also think about what is going to make this country great for the next 250 years, that is going to be rooted in the strength of our families, in our hearts full of faith and grateful to God for what He has given us. I am looking forward to, with my family, celebrating this great American birthday, celebrating it with all of you. And I am so grateful that we have a president who every single day, he focuses on how he can make America great, how we can bring jobs back to the American people, increase American wages, and we are blessed as a country to have that great president in the Oval Office today. God bless you all. Happy birthday, America.
All right, that was Secretary Sean Duffy addressing the crowd at the Great America State Fair kickoff ceremony. As you saw, he brought his whole family up there. I didn't realize he had 9 children. And sure enough, you see them all like making their way off the stage. That is a huge, huge, beautiful though family. All right, so in a little while, like literally about 15 minutes, we're expecting to see President Donald Trump also come up to the stage. He's supposed to speak for about 30 minutes. Again, this is just the kickoff ceremony. Starting tomorrow is when the fair is supposed to be in town in DC. We're talking rides, food, performances, like a whole bunch of stuff, the whole 9 yards. We're gonna get into everything that you can expect if you do want to get out there in just a little bit. But we still gotta talk about trending stories. So I always look toward, what's Philly talking about? What are we scrolling on social media? What are we reading? What videos are we watching? So I'm going to bring Jake Leonard up to the desk when we come back. All right, welcome back to Philadelphia Live. My name is Judea Murray. Brought Jake Leonard up to the desk.
Hey.
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 I've got a question for you, and I'm
Okay.
going to pose it simply first, and then I'll tell you why I'm asking.
Okay.
So when it comes to family secrets,
Okay.
do you think you should take them to the grave, or if it could change the outcome of something, should you tell?
To me personally, I feel like it would depend whose secret is it. Like, is it my sister? If it was my sister, like, probably yes. But maybe if it was like a great grandpa or even one of my grandparents, no offense to my grandparents, I would.
Jake is snitching
Yeah,
right
if-
now.
I think I would snitch. But I guess it depends on like a lot of factors. Why?
Okay. So,
curious.
you know I love to scroll.
Yes.
And I saw a story on Threads. This woman takes anonymous questions from people,
Okay.
and then she'll pose them and
Okay.
just...
Love accounts like that.
So, in this particular instance, there's this guy who says he visited his grandpa, who I guess is on his deathbed. He's
Okay.
suffering from dementia. And his grandfather ends up bringing up this old case from years ago.
Okay.
Apparently, like 30 years ago, there was this little boy who was hit and killed while riding his bike. Okay?
Okay.
So, they found his body. They didn't find the bike. Like, the family, they don't know what happened. They know he
Okay.
was out there riding. They know a car hit him. They haven't found the driver
Right.
either.
Right.
Now, while the grandfather is sick and is talking, he mentions that this bike is actually in their backyard, buried.
What?
Yes. And he also mentions that his son, so this guy's uncle, was the driver who hit and killed this little boy. And so for 30 years, this whole town has been wondering whatever happened to so-and-so. And it's possible that they just cracked the case. So it gets...
Jaw drop.
It gets even deeper. The family, they don't want him to tell. It's one of those family
Okay.
secrets. And
Right.
so the question is, you know, this could help a family get security, figure out what happened, some closure. Should he tell, or spend 30 years just let it die with grandpa?
Wow. Like I said, jaw drop. That sounds like the plot of a movie. Lots to consider. And we wanted to know what you guys thought, the viewers.
to you.
Yeah, so we ran a poll. Fox29.com/go vote, always under the Fox Local tab. Basically just asking, should family secrets be taken to the grave? So 51% of the viewers say,
63 now.
oh my
It
gosh,
went up.
63 say yes, 12% say no, depends 25%. And again, looking on social media, you know, this is posted on Facebook, X, Instagram. Everyone seems kind of mixed. So like Alana says yes, unless it's a legal issue. We had someone on Instagram, actually it was Alyssa. Hi Alyssa. She says depends. So I guess it really depends. Like it does depend on the situation.
Yeah.
Personally, this one, I think I would snitch.
I think you have to. That is that's murder.
Well, okay, so you said the kid who was hit by the bike, was it around the person who's writing in? Did he know the kid? Was there like a
Oh, okay.
connection?
Let me explain. So
Okay.
this would have been the kid who's writing the letter or whatever.
Okay.
It would have been his uncle and his father, who would have been the same age as the little
Okay.
boy who died 30 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was a classmate.
Okay.
And so now this guy, he doesn't
Right.
know them, but he knows the family is still
Okay,
grieving,
yes.
and they still don't have answers.
All right. Yeah. Then sorry, Grandpa. I'm sorry, Unc. I think I would have to. I mean, like if there's ever a way to give family closure, obviously they can't bring the little boy back, but you know they could give them that closure, that thing they've been looking for years. So.
Oh, Jake, how did I forget this part? So
What?
I told you Grandpa has dementia.
Okay.
So the guy, he wasn't even sure if Grandpa was telling the truth or
Right.
not, but he did go into the backyard. He dug up where Grandpa said the bike was, and it was there.
Right.
So yeah, now the thing is he's trying to decide, should
Right.
he just bury it back up? Yeah, crazy stuff. You guys continue to vote with us,
Yeah,
especially
very
now
curious
that
what
you've
you
got
guys
the
think.
context.
Yes.
Let us know what you think. Now, let's move on to some of our trending stories. What's going
Okay.
on out there today?
Okay, so have you heard about what happened at Disneyland?
Yes. We actually got to talk about it. The kid who fell?
Yes, the kid who fell down. We talked about this in the meeting. It was previously Splash Mountain. It's rebranded to like Tianu's Bayou.
Mhm.
Yes, fell down, fell out of the thing, the log and down the whole
feet,
thing.
you guys, 50 feet. And a little bit more context too, because some of the news organizations are saying that this 13-year-old was actually trying to climb out of the ride when it happened. Yeah, seeing it in slow motion and up close is very gory. The child was rushed to the hospital. We're not quite sure what condition they are in now, but yeah, insane situation. And now you see what the ride normally looks like on a day-to-day.
You know, my biggest question about this story was, what did the kid fall out? Was he purposely getting out? If you watch the video, it almost looks like he could even be like adjusting himself and kind of topples out.
So, I mean, the media is saying that he was climbing out.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
Just what you said, it does kind of look like maybe he was just standing or something.
Like, I don't think he meant to like slide down.
He definitely didn't mean to fall 50 feet. He definitely did not mean to fall 50 feet.
No, because I was like, maybe he was like, oh, like water slide, but I don't know.
Not with all the tracks in there. But we hope that wherever he is now, that he's recovering. So. Goodness gracious. But yeah, that was a big headline that came out of one of our sister stations. That's Disneyland out in California. Whew. We've been talking about a lot of amusement park rides that have just been having trouble.
Yes, they're Mercury in retrograde or something in the air.
Mercury's drinking a Gatorade. That's what it is. Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on anything that's trending and whatnot out there. If you guys want to, us to go into a story too, let us know in the comment section. We are able to read that stuff in real time, you guys. Like, we actually see your comments as they roll in.
We want you to weigh in.
Yeah, ask questions. Let us know what you want to talk about. Jake, we're going to move on to what else is going on across the country.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem. In DC, I told you guys, the Great American State Fair. They've been having speakers up to the podium. They've been having performers, and it's going to continue. In about 5 minutes, President Donald Trump is expected to come up to the podium and speak. Again, that is supposed to happen at 8:30. That is the schedule that we were given here at Fox 29 Philadelphia. There are so many people out in the crowd. Hopefully we'll be able to show you a crowd shot a little later on. But again, when President Donald Trump does come up to the podium, we'll be bringing this out to you live, so don't go anywhere. Welcome to Philadelphia Live. I'm Judea Murray. Who's ready to celebrate America's 250th birthday? Out in D.C., they're gearing up by throwing the Great American State Fair. There's a ceremony starting right now. It actually started, you guys, at 7 o'clock. But soon, President Donald Trump is expected to speak. As you can hear, there are quite a few bands playing. We've got the president's own United States Marine Band, the U.S. Army Band, Pershing's own, as well as Armed Forces Choir. We've got a lot of big performances coming out. And again, in just 2 minutes now, we're expecting the president to speak. I want to let you guys listen in, and we're going to enjoy the show together.
Give it up for those guitar players, ladies and gentlemen. but we're gonna need your help here. Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong. I know you know this song. 'Twas in the spring, and spring became the summer. Who'd have believed you'd come along? All right, everybody, let me see those hands. There you go. Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you. Oh, sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Come on, everybody in the back, here we go. Sweet Caroline, good times never seem so good. There you go. I've been inclined to believe they never would. Sweet Caroline. Give yourselves a round of applause, everybody.
Woo! Woo!
Come on, Mike.
You guys are such good singers. Do you think you could keep it up? I said, do you think you could keep it up? All right. I know you know this next one. Make sure you sing it loud with us. Sing it. Big wheels keep on turning.
Come on, Mike.
Bringing me home to see my kin.
Hey.
Singing songs about the Southland. I miss Alabama
Ladies and gentlemen, from the rumble in the sky, we return to the America 250 stage and performing Oh America and Nessun Dorma, accompanied by the President's own United States Marine Band and the Joint Armed Forces Chorus. Please welcome America's presidential tenor, Christopher Macchio.
You guys, while this is going on, again, President Donald Trump is expected to speak any minute now, but I do need to address what you're taking a look at on the left side of your screen. We heard that 2 powerful earthquakes have now rattled Venezuela. This is the Caracas area of Venezuela. They say that, again, there are 2 major earthquakes, one coming in at 7.2 magnitude. About 45 seconds later, there was a larger earthquake at about 7.5. They say this was the main shock. Now, I'm also hearing that they are expecting many fatalities in these earthquakes. They're also expecting to see giant economic losses for all the businesses and companies all out there. They say high casualties, extensive damage are most likely. Again, I'm trying to get more information for you all, but so far I can tell you that there seem to have been 2 earthquakes, One was a 7.2 earthquake, and about 45 seconds later, they say there was that second earthquake that it came in at about 7.5 on the Richter scale. So we're going to keep our eyes on what's happening there. Meanwhile, I'll bring you back out to Washington, D.C., where the Great American State Fair kickoff celebration is also underway.
Thank you. God bless America!
Ladies and gentlemen, preparing to perform the greatest patriotic anthem of all time, God Bless the USA. Please
okay, you guys, we will listen into that performance as well. But again, if you are just now joining us on Fox 29 Philadelphia Live, we are also taking a live look at an area where two major earthquakes have rattled the area. This is Venezuela that we're talking about here, specifically Caracas. They say that the first earthquake that hit the area was a 7.2 on the Richter scale. About 45 seconds later, there was a larger earthquake that came in at about 7.5. They are expecting that there's going to be a large number of casualties in this. As you can see, what we're taking a look at here is likely search and rescue operations. Also, they know that a lot of their businesses have been heavily damaged. They say that this is also going to be a large setback in terms of their economy. So again, this is the situation that we're dealing with live. You're taking a live look at video coming out to us from Venezuela. Once again, if you were just now joining us, there were 2 major earthquakes that rattled the area not too long ago. The first one came in at a magnitude of 7.2. And then the second one, about 45 seconds later, came in at 7.5. They're expecting many people to have been killed in all of this. They also say that the damage is extensive and they're likely to find even more. So we're likely taking a live look at search and rescue operations out there in Caracas, Venezuela. Meanwhile, on the right side of your screen, you're seeing out in Washington, D.C., there's large crowd gathered on the National Mall. President Donald Trump is hosting the Great American State Fair. Tomorrow, everything will be kicked off. There are going to be tons of rides, food, performances and whatnot, but they're setting the stage for all of that right now as we speak. President Donald Trump is on the stage. He's expected to speak. Let's go ahead and listen in.
In New York to LA, there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. The men who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless our president.
Well, thank you, Lee, and hello, Washington, and a very big hello to America. Thank you. And 10 days from now, our country will celebrate one of the most monumental milestones in human history. We will mark 250 years of glorious American freedom. In 1776, our founding fathers met in Philadelphia and changed the world forever and ever with a thing called the Declaration of Independence. They proclaimed the eternal truth that we are endowed by our Creator with the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We all made, and you know that, free and equal by the hand of Almighty God. And those timeless American principles did not just win a revolution, but they built us into the greatest, strongest, and most exceptional nation the world has ever known. There has never been anything like the United States of America, and together we are making it bigger and better and stronger and far more exceptional than ever before. Today we have the largest economy on earth. We have the strongest military on earth. We have the most powerful technology on earth. We have the greatest culture on earth. And above all, we have the greatest people on earth. Greatest. Tonight, as we stand on the edge of our 250th year of independence, I am thrilled to declare that America is back. As you know very well, a short time ago, we were a dead country. We were dead. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're respected by everybody. Nobody's laughing at us anymore. 2 years ago, they were laughing. Now, we're the most respected anywhere. Think of it, anywhere in the world. Where were we 2 years ago? We weren't respected. We were a joke. We're not a joke anymore. Most powerful country in the world. But just like those patriots of 1776 over the past 17 months, we have taken power back from the far-off political class. They're trying to gain it back, but it's not going to happen. We have reclaimed our sovereignty, regained our liberty, restored our prosperity, and we have saved our country. In all things, we're once again putting a thing called America first. And last week we signed a historic agreement to end the conflict with Iran, fully open the Strait of Hormuz, and accomplish what no president has ever been able to accomplish before. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's done. And thanks to the power and skill of the United States Armed Forces, today Iran has no Navy, no Air Force, no anti-aircraft capacity, no missile launches, no manufacturing, and their leadership has been obliterated. And for the first time in 3,000 years, we are finally going to have peace in the Middle East. We're going to have peace in the Middle East. Since the agreement, the stock market and your 401ks are skyrocketing upward, and oil prices are plummeting downward. Today, it hit a new low, and the world is a much safer place. We had to make that little journey to Iran to do what we did. Very soon, you'll be at $2.50 a gallon for gasoline. And even lower than that, just like it was before we took the nuclear weapon away from Iran, and it will be away from Iran for a very long time. Forever, really. In my first term, I rebuilt our military and created the greatest economy in the history of the world. We had the greatest economy in history. And now we are going to blow that away. We're doing better, much better than even the first term. America's 250th year is set for an economic boom, the lights of which no nation has ever seen before. No nation has ever been in the place that we are right now. In 4 long years of the last administration, which was a total disaster, they got less than $1 trillion of new investment in our country. That's less than $1 trillion in 4 years. In my first 11 months, we secured commitments for $19.1 trillion of new investment from all over the globe, and they're building factories and plants, and they're building everything all over our country. The stock market has set 73 all-time record highs since the election, and more Americans are working today than at any time in the history of our country. Thank you. On the 4th of July, 1 year ago, I signed the largest tax cuts in American history, the largest spending cuts in American history, and the largest regulation cuts in American history by far. In the American Revolution, they had a saying, no tax on tea. But with the great big beautiful bill, we did even better. We gave you no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we also made interest on auto loans. You go out and buy an automobile, the interest on the loan is fully tax deductible. Never happened before, but only if the car happens to be made in America. And we're setting records in automobile construction. Our country is strong again, our country is wealthy again, and our country is safe again. In January 2025, we inherited the worst, most dangerous, most wide open and insecure border in history. And we have quickly turned it into the strongest, most secure border in the history of our country. For the past 13 months, zero illegal aliens have been admitted into the United States. 0. We're removing murderers, gang members, drug dealers, and dangerous criminals by the thousands. They came in through a ridiculous open border. I want to say a very special thanks to all of the men and women who have helped liberate America from this scourge, the heroes of ICE and Border Patrol. You are heroes. You are heroes. With the help of our law enforcement heroes, in 2025, we achieved the largest drop in the murder rate ever recorded to the lowest level in 125 years. That's the year 1900. We cut the flow of fentanyl across our border by 66%. Drugs coming in by ocean or by sea are down 97%. And Washington, D.C. is now one of the safest, most beautiful cities anywhere in the United States of America. For many years, our country was ruled by politicians who let America and its capital fall into decline and total disrepair. The city, named in honor of General George Washington, was turned into a national disgrace, but not anymore. Today, the homeless encampments are gone. The graffiti is gone. Since I took office, more than 50 monuments and memorials have been repaired and beautified. Dozens of statues have been cleaned, and they look so nice. 22 fountains have been fixed. At Union Station, the statue of Christopher Columbus is clean and fountain. That fountain is flowing, and it looks so beautiful. I just looked at it. Coming over, it is so beautiful. That white marble is nice and clean. There's no more graffiti stains all over it. The water is cascading at Meridian Hill Park. And I am personally, along with Doug and some of my friends, renovating Lafayette Square at the front door of the White House, and it's going to be beautiful and opens in a short period of time. And the reflecting pool that you've heard so much about, which is so incredible, it's been gruesomely vandalized by thugs, bad people. But soon, will be looking as beautiful as it looked just 2 weeks ago. In fact, I looked at it just a little while ago. It looks perfect already. But we're fixing it. The vandals got to it. They've largely been caught and are being prosecuted. We can't let that happen to our country. Can't let that happen. But it looks beautiful. Under the Trump administration, America is once again a nation of self-respect, dignity, and pride. Under our leadership, America will also be a nation that dares to dream and to build again. We want to build again and dream again. The American dream is alive again. That's something that nobody thought they'd be saying when you went through that last 4 years of incompetence. For the 100th anniversary of our founding in 1876, America completed the Washington Monument, and the work began on the Statue of Liberty. For our 150th year, we built Colonial Williamsburg. Remember that, Colonial Williamsburg, how beautiful it was. For the 200th year, we built the National Air and Space Museum and renovated the United States Capitol. For our 250th anniversary, we are likewise building new monuments to American greatness to serve every future president and First Lady. We're building the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world right at the White House. Right at the White House. It's going to be completed very soon. And just across the bridge in front of Arlington Cemetery, we're building a magnificent, really beautiful. This is going to be something you're going to like, a totally magnificent triumphal arch to honor the 250-year triumph of the American spirit, American military, and frankly, American competence. In West Potomac Park, we are creating the National Garden of American Heroes, featuring 250 or more statues of the greatest Americans who have ever lived. It's going to be beautiful. And next week at Freedom Plaza, we will unveil the Spirit of 76 exhibition honoring the heroes and martyrs of the American Revolution. And remember, 1776, what a time that was. Where we've come from there, what a date it is. It's a date like no other date. From Athens to Rome, from London to Paris, from New York to LA, and from all of the other parts of the world, the great civilizations of history did not wallow in aging ruins of the past. They built new cities, they created new monuments, and they forged towering legacies that still inspire the world after hundreds and even thousands of years. As America turns 250 years old, young by comparison to some, but superior to any nation that's ever been built, no matter how many years it took. We are the inheritors of these incredible traditions. We are the ones who are carrying forward the light of Western civilization, because this is the very beginning of the golden age of America. We're in the golden age. There's never been an age like this. There's never been an age like this. This anniversary is a time to be proud of our past, but it is also a time to lift our sights, expand our ambitions, and raise our expectations of what America can be. We will leave our children nothing less than the richest inheritance, most advanced civilization, and highest standard of living in human history. There's never been anything like it. But with all of that being said, the best is yet to come. Best is yet to come. I'm very pleased to be joined tonight by our great Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Mike, thank you. Stand up, Mike. He's been great. Attorney General Todd Blanche. Todd, thank you. Secretary of the Interior, who works with me so hard on the monuments and the fountains. He loves it like I do. Doug Burgum. Doug, thank you very much. Secretary of Agriculture, and those prices are tumbling down. They're tumbling down. We inherited a mess. Brooke Rollins. Thank you, Brooke. Secretary of Labor, Keith Sonderling. Secretary of Transportation, you heard him, and he's great, Sean Duffy. Sean, thank you. Our wonderful Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon. Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen from Oklahoma. Acting Director of National Intelligence, Bill Pulte. Thank you, Bill. FBI Director, Kash Patel. CMS Administrator, and he's doing a fantastic job, Dr. Mehmet Oz. Ambassador Monica Crowley. Thank you, Monica. And countless members, so many members of Congress, I will not go over the names, and senators, we appreciate that you're here. This is a very special night. Thank you all very much, the Senate and the House. As you know, over the past few weeks, America has been proudly hosting the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and it's setting attendance records and television rating records like never before. Who would have thought this was going to happen? They would say it's not our primary sport, but it's happening. And I want to just congratulate my friend, FIFA President Gianni Infantino. He's been fantastic to deal with, and he's very happy. Everything is a record. It's like having a Super Bowl every day. And I know everyone joins me in wishing Team USA good luck in their match tomorrow against Turkey in Los Angeles. They're doing great. Every day of my administration, we're delivering one historic victory after the next for the American people. We're unleashing American energy dominance and drill, baby, drill. You remember during the campaign, drill, baby, drill. And America is now the largest producer of oil and gas on earth, larger than Russia and Saudi Arabia by far combined. And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of $400, $500, and even 600%. Who would think that if you took down 0.5%, somebody said you were a genius, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800%. Nobody's seen anything like it. We had the highest drug prices in the world, and now we're going to be having the lowest drug prices in the world. And you think that was easy. It wasn't. For decades, Americans paid the highest prices. Think of that. There's never been a time where when I took this over, the highest prices, and now, just remember, you go to TrumpRx.gov and you get what you're looking for at prices so much lower that a lot of people don't even believe it's happening. We passed the largest ever investment in the United States military, more than $1 trillion. And this year, all made in the USA, we're going to be asking Pete Hegseth and General Raisin Kane and all of us, we're going to, and by the way, how good is our military? How good is our military? One week, Iran was essentially finished. In 1 hour, Venezuela was finished. And I guess we have other things in store, but we don't want to get carried away. Recruitment for every branch of our armed forces, so importantly, is setting records. 18 months ago, we had shortages, and now we have waiting lists. We couldn't get people to join the military. None of them, none of the branches. They were all dying to get people. They couldn't. Then the thing happened on November 5th. It's called a great election victory. And from that moment on, now you can't even get into the military. We have waiting lists to get into the military and to become policemen and to become firemen. It's really fantastic what's happened. The spirit in this country is like from a different planet from what it was a year and a half ago. In a flawless and breathtaking operation earlier this year, America's armed forces captured the outlaw dictator of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and brought him back to face American justice. One of the great military raids in history, if you remember. And here at home, we abolished DEI across the entire federal government. We don't want DEI. And we got critical race theory out of our schools. And I signed the largest expansion of school choice in history. And we have begun the process of abolishing the Federal Department of Education. Thank you, Linda. Because we're sending education back to the states where it belongs. We banned the transgender mutilation of children. And we made it the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female. We got men out of women's sports. We renamed the Gulf of Mexico after 350 years. They are 100 years older than we are. We named the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, and restored the name of a great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley, where it belonged. And tonight, right here on the National Mall, we are beginning the most unforgettable birthday party any country has ever seen. Oh, you're going to have a good time. You're going to have a good time. This evening, it's my honor to officially kick off the celebration with the Great American State Fair. It's going to be great. It's going to be unbelievable. So from today through July 10th, this event will showcase all 56 states and territories. There will be no military flyovers. And I want to tell you something, because they're going to be beyond flyovers. There'll be something like you've never seen. You get just a little tiny glimpse of it tonight. By the way, how good is our Air Force? How good is our... Nobody's ever seen those planes. They are serious planes. When the bad guys see those planes coming, they say, we give up. But we're going to have special performances, patriotic music, high-tech demonstrations, unique exhibitions, a FIFA fan zone, which is great, and it really has been big stuff, and even an old-fashioned rodeo. I love rodeo. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it. Then on July 4th, we will have the greatest show of all on the National Mall. Your favorite president will be speaking. So please show up. Because if we have 2 empty seats, you know what's going to happen? The fake news is going to say, he didn't fill out the arena. No, I'll be speaking. I'll be very proudly speaking as we ring in our 250th year with the largest fireworks display in world history, 10 times larger than any that we've ever done in Washington or in the United States. So if you like fireworks, then in August, we're going to have what's called the Patriot Games, a first-of-its-kind competition featuring the greatest high school athletes from all across the United States. And applications are open through July 10th. These are the best athletes in the country, young athletes. And soon thereafter, we'll have a Freedom 250 Grand Prix right here in Washington around the Capitol. That's the great Roger Penske. Roger Penske. It's going to be an Indy race that they've been trying to get. He said, we've been trying to get it for 29 years. We came to Washington over 200 times. And with you as president, we came here a half an hour and it was done. So we're going to have Indy wrapping around the Capitol, down Pennsylvania Avenue. It's going to be amazing. It's in August. In conclusion, 250 years ago, a new nation was founded by farmers and soldiers, shopkeepers and tradesmen who stood strong to defend their rights, their families, and their freedom from tyranny across the sea, from every city and town, from the mountains and valleys, from the backwoods and rocky shores. They came by the thousands to fill the ranks of American patriots and enlist their lives in the righteous cause of independence. That's what they did. This exceptional nation was forged and won by some of the bravest, toughest, strongest, most extraordinary people ever to stride the earth. Together we stand on the shoulders of incomparable heroes such as George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, John Paul Jones, John Hancock at Lexington and Concord, Brooklyn and Saratoga, Trenton and Yorktown, and at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. These real-life legends and American icons poured out their blood, sweat, and tears and risked everything they had to purchase and to live the most priceless and glorious inheritance of any people ever to be on this earth. They all lived by the oath that Patrick Henry made immortal: give me liberty or give me death. For 250 years, every generation of Americans have taken up this same call to freedom, from the storied alleys of Boston to the streets of Philadelphia, from the golden fields of Michigan to the gleaming shores of California, and from Texas to Florida to right here in now beautiful and extremely safe Washington, D.C. Our American ancestors fought and won the most vicious battles. They explored and settled the most dangerous frontiers and let no challenge ever break their spirit or their pride. They were proud to be Americans. They love our country. They look down on us now. They love our people. Americans crossed the Great Plains, scaled the mighty Rockies, tamed the Wild West, and turned this continent into industrial powerhouses like nobody has ever seen. We laid down the railroads, raised up the skyscrapers, built the great highways, invented the airplane, won 2 world wars, defeated fascism and communism. We're going to have to do that again. And led humanity into space. And we did it all in the span of just 250 years. Now we are expanding the glory of American freedom into into a horizon that's never been seen before. We've never reached so high as we're reaching right now. This is our heritage. This is our history. And this is the destiny of America, to be the greatest, most incredible country ever to grace the earth. We are one people, one nation, marching into one magnificent future under our great American flag that we love and respect so much. And tonight we prepare to enter our 250th year we are more determined than ever to remember these phrases. You've heard them many times before. We will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you very much. Happy birthday, America. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys, so we got a fiery speech from President Donald Trump. Again, this is the kickoff celebration for the Great American State Fair. Tomorrow, there will be a 16-day fair out in Washington, D.C., the National Mall. If you want to get out to it, if you happen to be in the area, you know, a lot of people watch us from all across the country and even all across the world. Again, 16 days, it'll feature a 110-foot Ferris wheel, this newly refurbished Smithsonian National Carousel, activations, live music, experiences from each and every state and territory. It should be a good time if you guys are interested. Now, we are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we got a lot more Donald Trump and DC news to tell you about. We'll get into it, what happened earlier today when we come back. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live. You guys are taking a live look out at the tail end of the kickoff celebration ceremony for the Great American State Fair. President Donald Trump literally just wrapped up his remarks about a couple of minutes ago, and he has had a completely packed schedule today. This afternoon, he met with the Senate Republicans a couple of hours after canceling his signing ceremony for the bipartisan housing bill. And he stopped for a minute to address the press. And I want to let you listen in on what he had to say to them.
So I think we had a really great meeting, and we're very proud of the party. We like our leader. We like everybody really in the room. I don't like a few people, but that's okay. I think you know who they are. But I'll give you that information someday. But for the most part, we have a really well-unified party. And I said it very strongly. We have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the most powerful, we're the smartest, we're the most respected. 2 years ago, we were a laughingstock all over the world. We had a terrible group of people representing us. Every leader, I just left G7, every leader, and we had a lot of people in addition to G7, as you know, came. Everyone said, what we've done in a year and a half is a miracle. We have the hottest country in the world, and we want to keep it that way. We have more factories being built right now than we have at any point, at any time in the history of our country. And all of those factories are opening up soon. It's all jobs. And our job numbers are incredible anyway. I see that oil just broke the $70 number. Who would have thought that was going to happen? And that's during a war. And Iran is being very nice. They're agreeing to everything that I want. And they have to. Otherwise, we just go back and do what we have to do. Thank you very much.
All right. After this, the president then headed back to the White House for an Oval Office meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Now, Rutte didn't say much during that meeting. He actually took the seat back, and the president took jabs at the Senate for voting to limit his war powers. I want to let you listen into that, too.
We have breaking news. The Senate has voted that they'd like Trump to stop the war. So Iran sees that and they go, what's that all about? Now, you know it's meaningless, right? But I had lunch with them. We had 4 Republican senators and all Democrats. You know, Democrats, they want to lose the war because they're stupid. That's why we call them Democrats, you know? I no longer use the E. I've changed the E into a U. We call them Democrats. They're dumb. Their policy is so bad. That's why they have to. They are opposed to the Save America Act because they don't want voter ID. They don't want proof of citizenship. You know why? Because they have to cheat. Their policy is so bad that if they don't cheat, they wouldn't win an election. They're phenomenal cheaters, and they stick together. But you know, the people, the Democrat people, are 87% in favor of the Save America Act.
Now remember, the NATO Secretary General was actually in the room when this was happening. As I mentioned, he didn't say much, but after that meeting, he did catch up with the press right outside of the White House. I want to let you listen to just a little bit of what he had to say there.
The Europeans and Canada are now on a trajectory to equalize their spending with the United States. This was a problem since Eisenhower. This president got this done. This was what we discussed in The Hague, decided in The Hague, and it is now happening. The fact that last year Europeans and Canada spent almost 20% more is clear evidence. That's one. Second, when it comes to the spending of this money, we know that a lot of this money is being spent in the United States in 2 ways. European companies investing in the United States, creating a lot of jobs, supporting a lot of jobs. You saw the chart I used in the Oval Office. I think it is over 80,000 jobs created by European companies investing in the United States. And then you have about more than 110,000 jobs being supported by the fact that European allies are buying from US companies. So there is now a fair deal. We are all going to spend the same, and we are also seeing that close to 200,000 jobs being supported by all these investments. I think this is a good deal for all taxpayers. Absolutely, absolutely, because before him, this did not happen.
Mr. Secretary, what do you think about the last remarks between Giorgia Meloni and President Trump? And
let me not. When there are discussions between allies, as you know, I'm always a bit muted. These are both great leaders, but let me not comment on these types of discussions because I can be best helpful behind the scenes.
Mr. Secretary.
A couple of questions, if I can.
One question, I think. Yes.
Are you convinced that the president is convinced that he's no longer being taken for a ride by European allies? And my second question: are you concerned with the political turmoil in the UK, which is all about defence, that Britain might not meet its commitments to NATO?
On your first question, I think one of his biggest foreign policy successes in 2025 was the NATO summit in The Hague. The commitment to spend 5%, and what we are seeing now in 2026 is that the money is coming in.
But he thinks they're backsliding.
No, he is seeing this, so that's what I showed him. So I mean, you have to ask him, but my sense is that he sees the fact that Europeans and Canadians are spending almost 20% more. There is a limit to what you can spend more in 1 year because there is an absorption capacity maximum. because you have to find the men and women in uniform. You have to make sure that the defense industry output is there to spend all the money. So $139 billion nominal extra spending in 2025 is huge. I think he can absolutely take credit for this. His leadership has been crucial. Of course, also the fact that the Russians are a threat to all of us, including the United States. And please, one thing about NATO. When it comes to the defense of the United States, NATO is crucial. These nuclear submarines there in the north of Russia are not there to attack Norway, they are there to attack the United States. And it is thanks to NATO that collectively we can prevent them from becoming a threat. Yes, the NOS, he is a Dutch journalist.
Meneer Trump is heel,
I come back to you. But
meneer Trump heeft heel veel lof voor u, maar het is een fragiele basis als hij NAVO alleen steunt als u de baas bent. Dat gaf hij een beetje aan.
Ik denk dat er meer is. Ik vond het heel aardig van hem, maar er is natuurlijk meer. Hij ziet nu dat Europeanen en Canada echt de uitgaven enorm aan het verhogen zijn. Daarmee zijn we aan het gelijktrekken de uitgaven met de Verenigde Staten. Dit was altijd een wens van alle presidenten hier sinds Eisenhower. Hij heeft dat nu voor elkaar gekregen. En hij ziet ook dat dit leidt tot banen in de Verenigde Staten. Natuurlijk ook in Europa, maar ook tot banen in de Verenigde Staten. Bijna 200.000 banen ondersteund door deze investeringen. En then on politics in the UK, I'm not going to comment. Because I should never comment about national politics.
Mr. Secretary, you often say that NATO is a defensive alliance. Were the regime change wars in Libya and Iraq defensive wars?
Again, NATO is there to defend 1 billion people living in NATO territory, from California up to and including Turkey and everything in between. This is a transatlantic, North Atlantic Treaty Organization alliance. It is extremely powerful. It is the strongest defensive alliance in world history, and we have our discussions, as you have seen this afternoon. There are always debates. These are democracies. But the good thing is that finally, but I'm not going to comment on everything, but I can assure you, NATO is there to defend as a defensive alliance. But if we would be attacked, you can be assured, if we would get attacked by anyone, for example the Russians or whoever, that our reaction will be devastating.
One follow-up.
Final two questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is one laggard in the alliance, which is Spain, didn't reach the 5%. The president was pretty harsh with Spain right now, and he said that you would agree with his diagnostic. Do you agree with
as you
what
know,
he said?
the Prime Minister of Spain and myself, we agreed last year to disagree. The good thing is that Spain has committed to reach the capability targets as we agreed. The Spanish Prime Minister was saying last year, and he's still saying that, so this is not news what I'm making here, that he thinks he can reach that not by spending 3.5% on core defense spending, but 2.2%. I don't think he can, and I think the future will show this. But this is what we agreed last year to disagree upon, and that has not changed.
All right, so we got to finally hear from him. Those are some of his thoughts. And keep in mind that all of this took place right before President Donald Trump was supposed to make his way to the National Mall. We were able to stream that live right here on Philadelphia Live. Of course, it was the Great American State Fair, where he spoke a little more about America's history, what he feels his successes have been while he's been in office. And he was hosting like a couple thousand people, again, out on the National Mall. This is right before tomorrow, where a 16-day fair will be taking place out in D.C. They're going to have a large Ferris wheel, rides, food, performers. It's supposed to be crazy, and this is all for America's 250th birthday. So just wanted to give you a quick taste of everything that was going on in Washington, D.C. But we're going to bring things back closer to home. After this break, I have to tell you about this 33-year-old Delaware woman who we hear has now been charged in connection to her parents' death. We'll get into it when we come back. Welcome back into Philadelphia Live. Let's get into some regional news. We're hearing that a 33-year-old woman from Delaware has officially been charged in the shooting death of both of her parents. Now, the killing happened way back in 2022. We're talking about New Year's Eve. They say about 2 days later, that's when officials were doing a welfare check at this home in the Chester Heights area of Pennsylvania, and that is when they found those two people, Richard and Rita, dead in their home. Now, police are looking at their 33-year-old daughter. And if you want to add a little oddity into this story, they're also saying that she had cult-like ties to, alleged ties to a cult-like extremist group. They're known for highly intelligent computer scientists' radical beliefs about technology, artificial intelligence, veganism, and gender identity. So what does this all have to do with the death of her parents? I'm going to turn it over to the Delaware County District Attorney for that.
We are here today to announce that Michelle Zyko has been charged with first-degree murder, as well as conspiracy to commit first-degree murder in the death of her parents, Richard and Rita Zyko. Photo you see there is of Michelle, which was taken into custody in 2025 in Allegheny County, Maryland. There you see the decedents. That's who we're here for. It's Richard and Rita Zyko. What took place, to the best of our knowledge, is that Michelle had become estranged from her parents. The last time they had spoken was in early 2022. During the course of that year, she and at least one associate by the name of Alice Monday purchased firearms. These firearms came with a number of accessories that will become relevant in just a moment. During that time, it is also known that Ms. Zyko became affiliated with, at the absolute latest, became affiliated with an individual named Jack Lasota. They were residing in Vermont in late 2022. On New Year's Eve of 2022, which happens to be Michelle Zyko's birthday, her mother, Rita Zyko, reached out and explained that she was sorry for the rift that had grown between them. That text went unanswered. Several hours later, a car is seen approaching the Zyko home in Chester Heights, Pennsylvania, here in Delaware County. Two individuals at least get out of that car. One can be heard saying something that at the time was indistinguishable. Sounded like it could have been Mom. The lights go on in the home, and Richard and Rita Zyko are executed. Detectives, the Vermont State Police, as well as with the Pennsylvania State Police, began investigating almost immediately. And I want to emphasize, I cannot stress this enough, this is just about as exhaustive of an investigation that I have been a part of in my 16 years as an attorney. I am extraordinarily proud of the work put into this by Corporal Wiley and Trooper Metzinger. Time and again, they were asked to go back and get more, go back and do more, because what we see, and what you'll see from the complaint and the timeline we're presenting, is that this had to be cobbled together. We don't have a smoking gun. It is piece after piece after piece of evidence that has been collected painstakingly over years. And what it shows initially, that audio was able to be cleaned up. Corporal Wiley reached out to Secret Service and asked them to somehow enhance that capability. With that audio enhanced, you are very clearly able to hear someone yell, "Mom," as they stand at the front door of Richard and Rita Zyko's home. They have only one child, and that's Michelle Zyko. It also became apparent that through forensic analysis, we see Ms. Zyko exchanging a number of text messages throughout the course of this time, explaining things she wished she could have done differently surrounding the homicide. She also goes completely dark for the period around the homicide. Her phone is left in Vermont, and for the only time that we have record of, she is neither making outgoing nor returning any incoming calls. That only occurred during the time of this homicide. Further ballistic analysis was conducted, and the two shell casings recovered at the scene were found to match an as of yet unrecovered firearm that had been used at Michelle Zyko's home in Vermont. It was a firing range out in the back of the backyard. The same gun that killed Richard and Rita Zyko had been used in that backyard. Michelle Zyko was also in possession of a firearm and had also been using it in that same backyard. So we know Michelle Zyko was with the killers, to the extent that she wasn't the one that actually pulled the trigger. She was certainly aligned with those that did. We became aware later on through phone analysis that she created, what I've alluded to, a list of things that, quote, they fucked up. This included not getting rid of the shell casings that were found at the scene. This included not getting rid of the ammunition that was later recovered from her Vermont home that matched the ammunition found at the scene, the shell casings found at the scene. This included not sending fake text messages from the phones they left in Vermont and leaving someone behind to send those text messages. It goes on and on and on. Quite simply, as I said, it is an exhaustive investigation that took years to pull together. But we are finally at the point where we can say, beyond any doubt, that Michelle Zyko was at least in part responsible for the death of her parents. She did not act alone. At this time, we do not know who her co-conspirators were, but we are very certain that Michelle Zyko was in the home and arranged for the death of her parents. At this time, before I take any questions, before Corporal Wiley take any questions, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Roseanne Zyko, who's going to speak on behalf of the family. So you know, go this way.
In the 3+ years since the murders of our beloved Rita and Rick, we have lived with unspeakable grief and sorrow. There were countless days of darkness and despair, days when it was difficult, almost impossible, to hold on to the belief and hope and expectation that this day would eventually arrive. We are deeply and forever grateful and thankful for those public servants who carried us through the dark days to this long-awaited day when charges would be filed. We thank Corporal Martin Wiley, Trooper Joseph Metzinger, Trooper Matthew Smith, and the Criminal Investigations Unit, Troop K, Media Barracks, for their unceasing investigation and unwavering perseverance in collecting evidence. They provided us with much-needed reassurance and hope and compassion, and they embody the highest standards required of public servants. We also thank the Delaware County District Attorney's Office. At our first meeting with DA Tanner Rouse, he promised to bring this heinous crime to prosecution, no matter how long it took. When it seemed like progress was slow, DA Rouse did not believe we hit a wall, and he urged patience. We couldn't be more pleased that he was correct and that he kept that promise. There has been much speculation, misinformation, and disinformation about our Rita and Rick and our niece. It has been difficult and challenging to hear and read and not comment until the appropriate time. That time is now. The evidence will speak loudly and decisively for us as it will for Rita and Rick. And now is the time for the facts and the truth to be known. We don't know yet if the trial will begin to heal the void in our lives and the ache in our hearts, but we do know that the detectives, the DA's office, and we, the family, have done everything possible to achieve justice for Rita and Rick.
I would just reiterate briefly. I want to thank former Deputy District Attorney Stephanie Wills. She's now retired, but she was instrumental in bringing this case to where it is today. I also want to say again, to Corporal Wiley and to Trooper Metzinger specifically, this was just an extraordinary investigation that took place over many years. I'm going to highlight through so that you all can get a glimpse of the timeline of what we are talking about. But it took a lot, and it would have been very, very easy. And I have known other law enforcement officers that would have walked away. They did not. They did not. They continued to pursue the evidence. They continued to do everything that they could be asked to do. They did not leave any stone unturned to bring us to this point, and it is truly exemplary. As Ms. Zyko has highlighted, it is the very best of police work. With that, we'd be happy to take any questions.
Tanner, can you speak a little bit more about how you know what leads you to believe that she didn't act alone?
Yeah, well, it's very clear, Vinny, from the video. The video, you could not identify the two individuals that get out of the car in front of the Zyko home. It's taken from across the street. However, you can very clearly make out two individuals that go into that home.
Is it too early to say whether or not Jack Soto or Daniel Blank are tied to this at this point?
At this time, it is too early to say. Well, I want to say this carefully. At this point, the individual that went into the home is unidentified. We do believe that Mr. Blank was aware of the phones that were being used. There are references, as you can see from the complaint, that they regretted not having Mr. Blank use those phones more strategically while they were in Pennsylvania.
Tanner, if it's strange, do we know yet why she comes on New Year's Eve and does the alleged?
So, Joe, what I'll say is this. That was her birthday. That she had earlier that morning received a text message from her mother. As far as the timing goes, I'm speculating. I don't know exactly why. Those are two possible triggers.
What's it going to take to bring additional charges? What's it going to take to bring additional charges against additional people who may have been in the home?
We're going to need something to help us identify them. And that can come in any number of forms. As we saw, to get to this point, we're talking about forensic evidence, we're talking about ballistic evidence, any number of things that we are still going to pursue and hope shake free, but we are going to need more than we have to identify them.
You obviously did an exhaustive investigation, so you looked at every detail. I'm sure you've heard, I don't know if you've talked about in the past, any association with these three to other groups. You've heard cult-like group thrown out there. Through your work, have you confirmed any of that? And what can you tell us about any affiliation at all, association with those groups?
What I can tell you is what we have tried to do in this is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that she committed this murder. I can prove that. I know that she is affiliated with individuals that are aligned with the group that I'm going to refer to as the name I believe they are referred to commonly as the Zizians. Jack Lasotto among them. I believe he is commonly accepted to be the leader of that group. They are clearly affiliated. What that means, I can't say with certainty.
Tanner, if it's appropriate, might we ask a question of Roseanne?
Of course.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm Joe with Channel 3. In your statement, you mentioned some disinformation and misinformation. We're here to learn about what you would prefer us to know about Rick and Rita. Can you describe what has been wrong or what has been out there that has been mischaracterized for us?
Over the past 3 years, we've all been on Facebook. We've all been on Instagram. I'm not on Twitter. But I've seen comments that people have made, people who are unfamiliar with the investigation, people who are unfamiliar with my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, people who are unfamiliar just making comments. And I'm not going to address anything in specific at this moment, but what I have seen has been more wrong than it's been right.
Can you just talk to us about what you want the world to know about them, the beautiful couple that some of us never got the pleasure to meet them? Can you just say something about the people they were?
They were devoted to each other, extremely generous, loving, a joy, devoted to Rita's mother and her father, who were seriously ill. They lived for others. It's like a light's gone out of our life just to not have them, not to be able to pick the phone up and call and talk about what's been going on in our lives. But I've known Rita since 1972. I met her on my very first day at Penn State. So I've been friends. She was my friend before she was my sister-in-law. And you would not find a more loving, caring person than Rita. And the same goes for Rick.
Can you walk us through how, after the, not an arrest, but after Michelle was taken into custody at Canterwood Suites, how she sort of disappeared after that?
Yeah, so in the process of formulating a suspect and conducting interviews in this case, we became aware, I should say Corporal Wiley became aware, that Ms. Zyko, for her parents' funeral, would be staying at the Canterwood Suites in Chester. They sought to talk to her. They executed a search warrant at Canterwood Suites on the place they were staying at, the room specifically that she and the room that Daniel Blank were staying in. They brought her back for an interview, which, as is her right, she didn't say anything. However, she walked out of State Police Barracks and disappeared. Best we can tell, she walked up Baltimore Pike to a diner where she borrowed a phone from a waitress, made a phone call, got a ride. This is particularly notable because she left behind a car containing $40,000 in cash. She had every right to that. There was no reason, no basis to hold that cash. It was hers and Daniel Blank's. But nevertheless, she left the car and the cash behind and was in the wind for quite some time.
Tamara, can you explain sort of the order of operations now that she's charged with murder? Does that supersede the ongoing criminal prosecution in Maryland?
It doesn't supersede it, Vinny, formally in that they have her in custody. She also has a federal detainer for the gun trafficking charges out of Vermont. So there's going to be a back and forth about trying to get her here to Pennsylvania to be arraigned, to stand trial, or to have a preliminary hearing first and foremost. But that is going to be subject to conversations that at this point we haven't formally had yet. And again, we can't just pull rank because it's a more serious case than a gun case would be.
So you don't anticipate necessarily that the prelim will be before the trial in Maryland?
That's not fair to say, but it is possible that it would not be before the trial in Maryland, yeah.
Now, this case has involved lots of innuendo, speculation, years of hard work. I know we've pestered you guys for an update on this investigation for a very long time. Can you, from the top down, give us the summary of, at the very end of the day, really what the tragedy is here?
You are talking about, and Joe, it's a great question because it's a horrible crime, but it's also one that it goes beyond comprehension in certain respects. This is a child who killed her parents, who walked into her childhood home, took her mother to her childhood playroom, and executed her. There aren't words or emotions that can capture that. This is something that is unimaginable to anyone that is a child, as we all are, to anyone that is a parent, as many of us are. We see violent crime enough to understand how it generally plays out. And to have a part of you that says, man, if only this could have been avoided. In a situation like this, I can't wrap my mind around or figure out what led to this point. We are clearly talking about someone that has gone down an unimaginably dark road and has led to a tragedy that is just defies any sort of description. Oh, hold on, actually. You were first.
Have you or anyone else talked to the defendants since these charges were filed or in the recent?
No, I mean, the charges have been filed as of an hour ago. So no, their attorney, her attorney from Maryland did reach out, but we have not formally talked with her at all. Alex, no, to answer your question, the shots cannot be heard from the ring cam.
Do you have any idea why that might be? You can clearly hear mom, but you can't hear the gun.
Understood. That thought has occurred to me as well. I'd be speculating. I can surmise. I mean, I can come up with 15 different explanations for it, but I don't know for sure.
You mentioned the text message that the defendant had sent to her mom, and there was a bit of a rift between them. Are you able to speak to exactly perhaps why they were?
There was at least allusions to there being difficulties surrounding Michelle's lifestyle and in some capacity. I don't want to delve too deep into that. I don't know, and I would be speculating. There was an overture made, and I want to clarify, there was an overture made by Rita on the day of her murder seeking to bury the hatchet, whatever that hatchet may have been. She expressed outreach, or she expressed sorrow at where they were as a mother and daughter and wanted to move forward together. That text message went unreturned.
Did it go red, though? Was it red but not returned? Or did it just
I'm not sure, Alex. Yeah, I don't know the answer. But that was, I don't know the exact time. That was early in the day, which is to say more than enough time to travel from Vermont to Pennsylvania.
Does it seem in the investigation that the text that was sent precipitated, or was this premeditated?
I'd be speculating. Again, it's hard to ignore the timing, but at the same time, I can't say what the causal link was. Once more, you're talking about someone that murdered their parents. What the tipping point was, what the premeditation was, is difficult at this juncture to say.
Open count criminal homicide?
Sorry?
Is it an open count of criminal homicide?
There are 2 counts of first-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal homicide, as well as conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Third, obviously, attached as well. Weapons charges to go along with it, and burglary.
There was, just coming back to the premeditation part, in the weeks leading up to the shooting, Michelle went out to California to pick up Lasoda, drives him back,
Correct.
Daniel Blank. The thing moves in December 15th.
Correct.
So does that seem like they're sort of gathering, preparing for something?
That'd be hard to say, Alex. What I can say is this. There was a gun purchased about a year earlier. There were practice rounds, I'll call them, fired off in the backyard. There were large amounts of cash that were taken out immediately before and just after the homicide. So it does not seem to me to have been a spur-of-the-moment operation. They left their phones there quite intentionally. In fact, they reference wishing that they had someone send texts from the phones that they left behind. There was clearly quite a bit of thought that was put into this. When that started, I can't say. What spurred that, I can't say. But it certainly wasn't sloppy.
All right, you guys, we have breaking news for you, bringing you out to the live scene of a massive fire. We're hearing that this is at 300 North Front Street in Allentown. This is a multi-alarm fire. We're trying to get more information about it, but just from these live images that we're getting, it does not look good at all. I mean, the roof is gone. So it's not quite clear what caused this fire, but as you can see, there are multiple fire trucks, engines on the scene trying to put it out. I count at least 4 all around surrounding this building, and like I said, the fire is massive. This is a blaze, really. Again, we're not quite sure what caused it, but as you can see, the roof is gone. It looks like the windows of this place are also out and gone, and there are multiple fire trucks on the scene trying their best to put it out. Now, I'll go over the location again one more time just in case some of you are just now joining us in our live stream chat. This is 300 North Front Street in Allentown. This is a multi-alarm fire. We're not quite sure what caused it, but firefighters are in there trying their best to put it out as quickly as possible. Just a bizarre scene that we're seeing live before us. Skyfox is flying over the scene. You can also see in the top left corner where we've got police officers, probably ambulances out there. We don't know if anybody was inside the building when this happened, so we don't have any words yet on if there are any injuries or any deaths in the situation. But again, as you can see, it is just an insane scene that we're seeing from our Skyfox flying over. Now, the little bit of information that I do have just pertains to the area, but I can let you know that if you stick with us here on the Free Fox Local app or with us on our social media channels here at Fox 29 Philadelphia, you'll probably get an update to this. Our news team, our producers, our assignment desk, they're working hard to get you guys the latest. But again, Skyfox got to the scene first. You guys are taking the live look at what's going on there now. Once again, if you were just now joining us, this is 300 North Front Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Shout out to John Collins in our TikTok live stream chat, who also gave us the location if you guys are reading it and not listening to what's going on. So kind of just a crazy scene that we're seeing here. I do want to end on this. We're going to continue with it. I'll try to get you guys more information, but we're not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep our eyes on this scene that is developing as we speak. Again, our Skyfox rushed out to the scene. You guys are looking at 300 North Front Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. All we know so far is it is a massive fire, a 4-alarm response. The first alarm came in at around 8:40, and now as you can see, wow, this is an incredible image that we're getting here, where these 2 lone firefighters on this particular part of the building are trying their hardest to put it out, but you can see how much thick smoke, black smoke, is just filling the air. Wow. And then you've got fire trucks on all different angles trying to battle it out together. Another water spout going up into the air. And from the looks on the inside of how fiercely that fire is blazing, it makes me think that there may be something on the inside that is feeding the flames. So while the water is trying its hardest to put it out,